I want to recommend the TEDx presentation of Elon Musk. It was really not a presentation, but it was Chris Anderson who interviewed him, and he was going gangbusters. It was amazing. First, he started with a boring company. He's already done with Hyperloop or something like that, but now he's going into underground. He's basically digging tunnels. He bought a huge boring machine. And he says that everybody's doing it wrong, and he's going to do it 10 times faster. He's basically going to through a mountain and through a city underneath, 100 meters down, like butter. And he has all kinds of ideas about that. And he has unbelievable animations. He envisions a future that you basically drive through the city. You go to a little elevator, go 100 or 200 meters down, which can also be a vacuum tube, and then go to the other city in about 5 minutes. And so having sort of, you don't drive your car on the ground, but you drive it underground on an electric, sort of an elevator and then a little car. It's really weird, but it's also interesting. It's a nice vision. Secondly, he talks about Autopilot, which is of course very interesting for me. And he has promised me that my car, which actually got a nice update, and now I'm actually all back to the old car, the old Model X. It's as good, but that this car will go from one side of the Netherlands to the other side of the Netherlands, or to one side from America, from New York to LA, without touching the wheel at the end of the year. I never believe Elon Musk when he comes up with time schedules, but he made very aggressive promises, and 2 years later he will do it everywhere in the city. We always love it if he gives us fantastic promises. He always delivers, but it's always later than he says. And he talks about Model 3. Then he also talks about the truck. He's making a big, huge truck, which can basically, draw containers. And he says you can drive that truck fully electric, and it will be faster than a sports car. It will be completely electric, and it basically can pull a huge diesel engine, up the mountain. It has amazingly torque, and it is the same technology as he puts into the Model X. So you can just put a little bit more in, and then it will work. And it has a very nice picture, so I would take a look at it. Further, he talks about SolarCity, which is now Tesla, and says that in 15 years there won't be a roof in America anymore which doesn't produce sun. And it will be cheaper than a normal roof, and it will be less maintenance, and he makes a whole bunch of promises in that one. So if that's true, it's exciting, and but the people who basically invest in the company, they love it. And lastly, he talks about SpaceX and about the vision to Mars, which Donald Trump wants too. And he basically describes how big a rocket is. It's a huge rocket he wants to build, in 10, 15 years, and get 1,000 people at a time to Mars. And they talk about it. It's a half-hour presentation, about 40 minutes. And there's a 10-minute summary version of that. Really interesting. I would recommend taking a look at it. Enjoy!